Hi guys, I don't know what's going on. Welcome to my channel. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what is going on with my computer. Welcome to my channel. Okay, so we've been covering a lot of stuff related to the family vlogging world. Obviously, a couple weeks ago, I've been sort of the whole YouTube seismic kerplunk happened when Myka and James Stauffer came out and basically talked about where Huxley was, a question that had been asked by many of the Stauffer family. And then shortly after that, there was equally as outraged were fans of 8 Passengers after Ruby uploaded a video of her kids talking about some of the things that they've been doing lately, one of which was her oldest son, Chad, admitting that due to some current things that he had done to one of his brothers, Russell, that his mother had taken away his bed and his bedroom, and that he had been sleeping on the floor for 7 months and had recently got his bed back only a few weeks before, and that he had previously been at this place called Anasazi, where he had been in this wilderness camp, which, by the way, not so sure how much it worked since he came back and basically, according to Chad, got in trouble right away. And Ruby explained that she just takes things away because she needs to teach her kids responsibility. Obviously, people were outraged equally by making her son sleep on the floor for 7 months. Not only that, but she typically will go through and show her kids in situations and make them talk through things that maybe they don't need to be talking about on the internet, admitting to things that maybe they don't need to be admitting to on the internet, let's just say. And so you've got the Myka and James Stauffer situation with them basically admitting that they have placed Huxley with another family, and they claim that everything was done legitimately. There was this whole where is Huxley? The Delaware County Sheriff's Office basically says he is not missing. This has gone through the proper channels. But people are still outraged about Myka. People are still outraged about 8 Passengers. On 8 Passengers channel, by the way, since that deleted video, their videos are getting a whole lot of dislikes, equally as many likes as versus dislikes, which is not super common, but common if you're going through something like a scandal. Now, It's Our Life. Kendall Rich is another family vlogger. She has 1.2 subscribers and has, I think, 5 children, she said, one of which is adopted, Hampton, and he has special needs. She adopted him as well and did not know about the needs prior to the adoption, and basically went on record saying that she didn't agree with it, but was very, she didn't want to come out necessarily after Myka. So I just want to show you sort of what she and her husband said, and this was towards the end of it, but I do want to caveat that she admits in the video that she loves her son Hampton as much as her other kids. She doesn't look at him as anything different, that she doesn't believe that you should rehome or, give your children up if you've already adopted them, that she looks at adoption as forever. But she kind of fell short about what was happening with Myka and kind of didn't want to call her out because she had done some videos with Myka in the past. She didn't agree with what happened, but she also wasn't seemingly as outraged as she was to what is going on with Ruby. So I just want to show you how they addressed it. And I'm not, again, trying to at all drag them. I just want to show you some of the differences. And then I want to show you what she has said about 8 Passengers. And then you can kind of decide how you feel.
Because I want to be careful. We're in a space, and you don't ever want to come across as ever bashing other YouTube families, and that's not what we're doing. We're simply sharing our side and how adoption is beautiful and can be done right, and but also letting you know that we think adoption should be forever, and that it is a very selfless thing to do, and that parenting is a selfless thing. You literally have to give up your wants and your dreams, potentially, temporarily, while you parent any child. And when you have a special needs child, it is harder, and you do have to just let go of the things that maybe you want, maybe the job you wanted, maybe the lifestyle that you wanted, because they are more important, and you have to see it from that perspective. Not that it is easy.
Okay, so you can see that in her video, she, without being like very direct, she was saying she disagreed with it, that parenting is selfless, that you have to give up your needs, your wants in order to help your children, which is absolutely true in this case. Like if you feel like, if you take on a child and here's the thing about parenting, anyone will tell you this, is you never know, even if you birth a child, whether or not that child is going to have any sort of specific needs that will have to be met that might be outside of the quote unquote norm. Any child at any time can develop a disability, whether through an accident, whether through an illness. You never really know, right? And unfortunately, there's not scans that exist that show every single thing. So everything can look completely normal in an ultrasound, and then still you come and have a child that has potentially multiple things going on. So what I liked about what she said was that, you know, she didn't want to bash them and she didn't want to go after them, and that she didn't agree with it, and that I felt like there was a little bit of subtle shade there with like, you have to put your needs and your wants on hold. Okay, so that response to me felt like, okay, she doesn't want to be like super nasty. She wants to be classy, which I can totally get on board with. But then on Twitter yesterday, this is sort of what happened. So she on Instagram, she makes this video and she's talking about 8 passengers. Now, I want to show you something really quick about her channel just to give you an insight. Okay, so here is her channel, and this was her It's Our Life is like following like the vlog daily life, or not even necessarily daily life. It looks like they post daily of her family, and she definitely has some clickbaity titles. But if you look at the views here, you'll see Evie gets a piercing, 73,000, bringing home our new baby, It's Our Life, 95,000. Why I will never give up my special needs son. Just look at that number, 222,000. And then if you keep looking through the videos, you'll see 40K, 69K, 80K, 53K, 41K, 74K, 93K, 82K, 60K, 53K, 60K, 61K, 86K, 89K, 91K, 133K, and 118K. So the last time this channel with 1.2 million subscribers actually went over 100K was 2 months ago. And given the size of her platform at 1.2 million subscribers, you would think that she would have more engagement on her platform. If you think of it this way, typically a blogger or a channel should get about 10% of their audience to engage with a video on the first day of the upload. So on the first day of an upload, if she has 10% engagement from her subscribers, she should have around 120,000 views on her videos. But if you look, she's not getting that. But when she spoke out about Myka, she got 222,000 views. I only bring this up because whenever we start talking about someone speaking out about something, you have to start thinking about what is the motivation. Do I think her motivation is disingenuous? No, but I feel like I also have to show you the other side, okay? So she didn't have a lot of views leading up to this, and now she's got a little bit more, like, people are looking at her more, okay? Now, she doesn't have a huge presence on Twitter. She only has about 5,300 people following her, which seems to be out of, the numbers don't really match to me. Like, she has 1.2 million on YouTube, but she only has 5,300 on her Twitter, and then on her Instagram, she's got around 160,000 people following her. Her numbers are a little bit off, but I can't say if like she didn't start Twitter later, if she doesn't use Twitter as frequently. It's hard to know with influencers, but it appears as though there is a large portion of her audience that either is like not engaged, like meaning that these are accounts that are no longer active, or these are dead accounts, or they're bot accounts, or people just aren't clicking on her videos because they're not watching. There's a lot of different reasons why people don't get a lot of views, and it's hard to say what specifically it is. But knowing that she got a lot of views and a lot of attention with her video about Huxley, it's interesting now that she's making the decision to speak out against 8 passengers. So here is what she said about 8 passengers.
But it is a real shame when another
YouTube family films things so inappropriate that gives the rest of the family vlogging community a really bad name. And it is infuriating when I see things filmed about children. And I just needed to say that because what I'm seeing right now really puts a bad name on family vloggers, and that trash should not be on the internet.
Now, if you notice, she's a lot more pissed off there, like way angry, right? Very different than how she was talking about Myka, who is someone that she's made videos with, has collaborated with, is an adoption mom, but 8 Passengers, who she seemingly has no relationship with, she's really outraged. And again, I'm not trying to like say anything just which way, but I think you can notice a very big difference, right, in her reaction. And it's interesting because she's upset about Myka, but she wants to keep it classy. But when it comes to 8 Passengers whose child has slept on the floor for 7 months and who has a daughter that she admittedly didn't allow to eat because she forgot her lunch at home, is one thing, right? But Myka literally adopted a child for clout and then made over 30 videos about it, clickbaited his name, made millions of dollars, but she wasn't as pissed as she is with 8 Passengers, who she has apparently no relationship with. So that was sort of my like, okay, are you being authentic or are you not being authentic? And I want you guys to make that decision yourself. You can say, oh, I follow her. This is just how she is. She's maybe just at her breaking point, and that could be it. Maybe she's like a lot of people where it started out with her wanting to be sort of like I was when I was in the beginning of this, looking at it from the objective standpoint of maybe it just was a really bad fit. Maybe there was something like you want to give people the benefit of the doubt, right? Well, maybe now she's also like at a point where she's like, I can't take this anymore. We need to speak out. Now, let's talk a little bit more about what she has said on Twitter. So obviously we've gone through some of her stuff related to this. Oh, and one more thing I want to show you. It says, I literally have so much that I could say about this. How are you able to film over and over, shaming and embarrassing their children? Every video is literally punishing and shaming each child, sharing the most intimate details of their supposed bad behavior. That is not family vlogging, folks. That is abuse that happens to be filmed. That's not sharing life with their viewers, with their friends. It's the very definition of exploitation. And then let me share what she said to you, what she said this morning.
About this and are really just bothered and are really upset, and this needs to stop. It needs to end. That YouTube channel needs and I have so many thoughts, and it has to be said. It just has to be said, and I'm fine being the one to do it. I really am, for all the family vloggers out there. So and of course I am going to reveal who it is because it has to be said. It just has to be said who. I mean, all of you guys know anyways. But for the few that don't, it's important. It's important. So,
okay, so here's my only criticism of this, is she has gone out of her way not to say the name of this channel. She has gone out of her way not to say this, but she has now made 2 Instagrams where she talks about it. She's tweeted about it, but she won't actually say the name of it because she's going to upload a video and she's going to tell you about it. That feels a little clickbaity to me, where it's like, I need to speak out. I need to speak out. Girl, if you're going to speak out, just say their damn name on your Instagram. It's not that serious. Like, really say it there. Don't play these kinds of games. This feels a little bit game playing to me. Not to say I don't believe that she is frustrated, but where is her same level of outrage about she wants to cancel 8 Passengers, but she's never said let's cancel the Stauffers. Is that hypocritical? Is it because of that, like, doesn't want to go there? I'm a little bit confused there, but let me show you what she has said on Twitter. So obviously I just wanted to show this to you, which shows that This is like, they've uploaded 2 videos on 8 passengers since that video was deleted, and it's like 6.6 that like it, 6.5 that dislike it. Obviously, I gave it a dislike because, like, girl, this channel needs to go. And then destroying a sibling's room, where, again, she was like making her children sit down and talk about what they did wrong and why they're bad kids. And it has 6.8 thousand thumbs down. This is not good ratios. But again, ratios don't make a huge deal overall. To be honest, any sort of engagement is engagement, right? So then she said, I've decided to film a video addressing what I shared on Instagram. It's time that we stand up to abuse being labeled as family vlogging. Let's call it what it is. It's not just sharing real life. It's time we put down the camera and end the kid shaming. And then she said, literally disgusted with certain vlogging family. Their content is pure trash and is literally giving family vloggers a very bad rap. I don't understand how they haven't been canceled. There's no vlogging happening. It's literally video of the mom humiliated and shaming each child, sharing intimate details of their supposed bad behavior, and it makes me sick to my stomach. Now, I'm also going to point out this, like, okay, she's very, very angry. She's refusing to call them out. She's refusing to say the name, but you guys wait for my video. It's coming. But then I was like looking at some of her titles, and I just want to say, like, she clickbaits. It looks like Kendall clickbaits too. I mean, you know, toilet paper, quarantine, getting out, shopping spree, our biggest vacation, like the car accident that changed my life. There's one about her daughter being sick. Where is that? She has a lot of videos about, like, when her kids are sick and, like, you know, my child is sick, like this fighting over toilet paper. She has one where it's like the fight that ended our shopping spree, you know? So maybe she's not making the kids sit down, but it's very clear that the kids are a very active component of this. And a lot of these titles are very clickbaity, like, oh, bringing home our baby, but there's probably not a baby that she's actually bringing home. So I feel like if you're going to speak out, you have to also be willing to listen to the community. And I feel like if you're going to speak out, you have to be consistent with your message. So every single person, and this is the interesting thing I just want to point out, is that one of the unique things about being on YouTube is that you really do learn as you go. And so you realize pretty quickly that everybody on YouTube is either like being fake or being real, right? And it's hard for viewers to differentiate. It's also hard when you have a business and you're trying to make money. And by no means am I trying to like drag It's Our Life. I just want to say this. But if we want to start speaking out, I think we need to be doing it from a place of, okay, I have made some mistakes. Maybe I haven't done the best thing. Maybe I need to think about what I've done. Maybe I need to think about how I'm promoting my channel. And then we can start to see like how we can make improvements. Because on the surface, this doesn't have to be like an all or nothing. We shouldn't have to cancel all the family vloggers, but we should start thinking about how kids are on these channels, right? Because regardless if you like her and you like her message, she's also using her children for content. And you also have to consider that if a child is on a channel, they are working. They are working. They are not there for fun. This is going to be uploaded. This is going to be filmed. They know that they're in the thumbnail, which is going to become content. The child is for all intents and purposes an employee in that family. So they're not doing this for free, okay? So, and we know that there's not protections for kids like this because they're not in SAG. They don't have any sort of like rights in terms of like child labor because it falls in this gray area of family business. So this is sort of the, you know, the aspect of it that we have to start talking about. Like, what is exploitation? What is okay? What isn't okay? Like, where is the line, right? So I've invited her. I sent her a tweet and I also sent her a DM. She has not responded, but I've invited her to have a dialogue because I feel like if she's willing to, we can have a healthy discussion about what her thoughts are truly, if this is coming from a place of wanting to actually make change and actually evaluate how she might be contributing to the problem, and also discuss what we could expect or what kind of changes that we could make. Because ultimately, there's a difference between being outraged just for views or actually wanting to affect change on the platform. And we're not gonna get there if we're just doing things to clickbait and get people interested and then say, I'm so upset, I'm mad, I'm not gonna say their name. Wait to click into my video on YouTube where it's monetized. You know what I mean? And again, I'm open and totally honest about all of this. Like, I think she probably is a good person. I haven't seen a lot of the same behavior in her videos, although I haven't agreed with some of the titles on her channel. So I want to know what your thoughts are. Obviously, there are two sides to this story, and we have to be like very careful in how we speak about it. Do you think what she's doing is similar? Do you think it's odd that she is really upset about 8 passengers, but wasn't equally as outraged about Myka? Or do you think she's gotten, like I said, to a point where she's like, oh, that it started with this and now we're here and now I'm pissed? And does her outrage match her platform? Does it match what she's putting out? Has her lack of views caused this to happen? Or is she genuinely wanting to have a discussion? This is complicated, right? Because you never know somebody's motives. And I feel like this is a place where you can start talking about it. And again, I'm open to speaking to Kendall. I would be completely transparent with her. I would be very respectful of her. Again, have nothing against her. I just feel like if we really want to make a change, we have to also evaluate what our role is and what our responsibility is in it. Now, if you don't know me, used to blog where I would write about my family, mostly because my son was born with multiple health conditions. And I did it to advocate so I could help people understand more about the specifics of what it's like to live with a rare disease. That doesn't mean when he got to an age and when it got to a point where I felt like I'd done what I needed to do. I had advocated for him. I had shared the experience of what it was like to raise a child like that. I realized, okay, I'm closing that chapter. And my husband and I made the decision very much together that we would no longer share photos of him online. You've never seen him on this channel in terms of like a video. He might open the door and like say something, but I'm not a family vlogging channel. Sometimes I will share updates about what's going on in my family because listen, I'm a person, I'm a human, I have a family, but that my focus here is not to have my son be my content. Other channels, their children are their content. So we have to differentiate that too. But listen, like I at one point was doing some of the things these people were doing, and I learned that I needed to roll back and step back and be like, listen, he deserves privacy. He deserves to have his childhood not for everyone to see on the world, and he deserves to have his own digital footprint. And that's the one thing that I learned when I made that choice, was talking to other adults who have disabilities about what it means to have a digital footprint and not have control of your own story and your own life. And when we put kids out and we put them out so publicly, those kids have everything out for the world to see, regardless of whether or not in the future they would want the world to know these things. And children literally can't consent to that because they don't understand the long-term ramifications. So with all that being said, I would love to hear what your thoughts are in the comments below. And again, please do not harass or bully or do anything to any of the people that are discussed on these videos. Please always be kind and respectful, and always be respectful in your dialogues with one another. All right, you guys, I hope you have a great day.